First up, government says it will continue to work with the business community to eliminate high import of goods whilst boosting the capacity of local manufacturers in order to increase foreign earnings for the country. According to the Minister of Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, government is keen on positioning local industries to help reduce the high taste for foreign goods. Mr. Ofori-Atta has been engaging members of the Association of Ghana Industries as the country battles an economic crisis.
The exigencies of the moment have forced us to turn this crisis, in my mind, into an opportunity to resolve our short-term challenges and the long-term structural problems that have inhibited our economic transformation. That forms a big reason why I'm truly pleased to join you at this event. AGR has always strongly supported initiatives that protect local industry. Indeed, our interests converged when the President outlined his vision of achieving a Ghana beyond aid, since collectively exploiting our productive capacity is vital for creating robust, sustainable, and inclusive prosperity for all. In this respect, let me state categorically that we cannot continue to be a nation of importers.
Well, as government engages stakeholders ahead of the 2023 budget presentation, the Association of Ghana Industries says it has made some proposals to government on the reversal of the benchmark value and implementation of the zero-rated import duties on industrial raw materials. Speaking to Joy Business after the association held a meeting with the Finance Minister, President Humphrey Mdake said he was hopeful the economy will recover from the global shocks if the proposals are considered.
Like what we call the international valuation verification, others call it the benchmark discount value issue. We believe a full reversal as promised earlier on. We reiterated to government and to the minister that we look forward to that promise. Issues on the VAT we've tabled. Issues regarding zero-rated import duty on industrial raw materials is relevant to help us rejuvenate the private sector. It is evident by the virtue of the IMF and the report of the minister that the IMF intervention will bring some austerity because of the state of the debt of the country, and moving that debt position to about 55 calls for a lot of austerity, calls for a lot of contraction. Growth will be minimal. From that perspective of government, we believe in private sector. If we could get some rejuvenation with some tax exemptions, some interventions that zero rated on raw materials, and these reversals on the VAT and on the policy rates, we could help government rejuvenate and create jobs in the private sector whilst we navigate the debt sustainability issues and the challenges of inflation and the challenges of the macroeconomic difficulties. We could together do that and help government by virtue of that score to rake in revenues through the EVAT and other e-transactions that we can use to assist government rake in revenue for debt sustainability.
Well, at that meeting with the Association of Ghana Industries, the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta replied critics who have called for his resignation.
I have a finance minister who has gone through all the pains and aches, and nobody can really come and say you don't understand what we are doing. The question is, what resources do we have and how are we going to deploy them in the nation that we have, and how do you stand firm in very difficult circumstances by being very confident that the nation is purposed for greatness, and you are blessed to have the opportunity to lead where we are going. So thanks, Mr. President, for the encouragement. And let me assure you all that your best bet is still Ghana. We can do it, and we should do it. These are very difficult and existential times in global, the global world. And I mean, the whole issue of this poly-crisis, I think, has taken everybody for a turn that we all just need to admit. And how are we going to recalibrate ourselves to be able to build a foundation, not to be subject to the whims of these outside forces.
All right, let's turn from that meeting with the business community and to fuel matters. The Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors is ruling out any fuel shortage in the country in the coming weeks. It follows reports of supply issues due to the depreciation of the cedi against the dollar and credit extension challenges with banks. Now, speaking on PM Express Business Edition, Chief Executive Dr. Patrick Ofori said the challenges have been addressed.
Needed to have that discussion to ensure that these are extended and then the credit lines exposure is even quoted in USD so that our members can still bring in products worth $10 million. That will also revamp the supply side of it and to able to lock in products to the normal cycles that they bring the products in. So that was something that was also going to affect us. But clearly, once the directive came and most of our members are comfortable with that, I think the banks are also comfortable now to ensure that they can still keep that going. The other aspect that was definitely going to affect the supply line was the issue of the forest availability, because some of the key IOTCs were a bit skeptical, especially when the rating agencies downgraded Ghana. Some of them started to review their outlook on Ghana. Their compliance and risk teams started flagging out and saying, no, you know something, you can't continue exposing us to a country that has been downgraded. So that was also an issue. So we needed to also engage them to assure them that we have what it takes to make those payments. Some were very accommodating to the extent that they would also want to check from your banks if you have that cedi equivalent sitting in your account to be able to fulfill those payments. And gradually, I think that pressure has been able to ease. And then once they also got that assurance from BOG that at least a quantum of dollars has been allocated to the sector, it made them comfortable knowing that irrespective of what, the normal payment cycles, at least there are 2 or 3 million here or there, is guaranteed that through the Bank of Ghana auctioning. And we're hoping that the governor, after the other deliberations, may be stepping up to also ensure that we get more access to forests to be able to meet that. And they were also comfortable, of course, because they know the Cocoa Board syndicated loan was also coming in. So the issue about having access to forests to also meet those commitments was gradually calming down. And now we are in a smooth driving seat to the product supply will be there. But availability is one issue. Affordability is something that we can guarantee.
We should be assured that in terms of shortage, there wouldn't be till end of year to first quarter.
In as much as you are paying the right price.
And while domestic airlines across the country are being affected by the inconsistencies in aviation fuel pricing, players within the sector say the unstable Ghana cedi is affecting operations. According to Corporate Affairs Manager for Passion Air, Samuel Abdulrazak Techi, more internal and external investments are needed to enhance operations. He spoke to Joy Business at the 33rd Chartered Institute of Marketing Ghana National Performance Awards.
The players within the aviation sector, cost of operations is high, hence the need for government and authorities to be proactive in dealing with the current issues facing the sector. Abdulrazak Techi bemoaned the unwillingness of investors to support the sector.
Yeah, it's been extremely difficult over the past 1 year regarding our operations. Currently, like you said, we are facing 2 very strong headwinds. In the case of the depreciation of the cedi and the increasing fuel prices. You know, as an airline, we use fuel to facilitate our operations, and with these 2 constantly on the increase, it's not been very easy, but we are still striding on, and then we believe that we'll definitely come out of it.
At the event, some players within the insurance sector called on the regulator to increase sensitization programs to cushion their operations. Head of Business Development at the State Insurance Company, Robert Kwawu Brown, said insurance penetration may increase when there is a robust system to support local insurance firms.
Yeah, I think what has to be done to increase the penetration of life insurance is to do more of education. I think life insurance education has been something that has been really low, and we have to all in the industry take up this as our job to educate everybody in the life insurance industry. With also our NIC being our regulator, also coming in strong to help build that education to get people to understand what life insurance is and join the life insurance industry.
Meanwhile, local courier services also bewailed how they are being affected by the current economic challenges. According to the Chief Executive Officer of Shark Express, Antonio Owusu-Ansah, doing business now is expensive.
So I'll first of all say that we have a very good customer base, understanding customers who have been with us from the beginning of the journey till now. So they appreciate the service that we give them. In these difficult times, we understand the time that we find ourselves, and they also do understand. So we are sort of helping each other. The customers are helping us, we're also helping them. Sometimes we absorb the pressure, sometimes they absorb the pressure. So it's a win-win situation for the customers and for the business.
We have some more news for you on the marketplace. The Office of the Registrar of Companies has hinted it will put in place various measures to flush out Goro boys. According to the Registrar of Companies, Jemima Wari, the activities of the Goro boys are taking a toll on the operations. She was speaking to Joy Business at the 5th American Chamber of Commerce and the Ghana Association of Restructuring and Insolvency Advisors business meeting.
The VIP Oral C service is to create a conducive environment for business owners to have access to their documents within 24 hours. According to the Registrar of Companies, the ORC service is expected to be ready within the first quarter of 2023.
Well, I think it's far better than it was initially when we started, because we started issuing penalties for companies that do not file their annual returns and financial statements on time. So clearly now we are rather even being inundated by clients to file their returns. Sometimes it's the system that rather prevents them from filing. So I think it's far better, because I think we've done a bit of sensitization around that. So people actually want to comply now. Clients will pay anything just to get something done within a day. That is why we're going to come up with a VVIP service, where in our own premises we will have a whole setup there for businesses to get their documents within a day, as long as they pay a little bit more than they are currently paying. And that we should try and implement by the early part of next year, so that we'll cut out people having to go to pay extra monies, for a service that most probably might not even be inaccurate.
President of the American Chamber of Commerce Ghana, Aisha Bedue Ibe, stated that U.S. businesses will further deepen trade with their Ghanaian counterparts.
People, businesses especially, need to have clarity and know how to move forward in this area. It all adds up to the ease of doing business. So American Chamber of Commerce and GARIA have always had a partnership for the last 2 or 3 years, and it helps that we bring our different members together. We represent different parts of the business society, and as we come together, we're stronger. We're able to push policy together, have those discussions that reflect what is going on in our businesses, and also try and influence the change that is possible. All members have been hit by this crisis, because we're all business owners. So all the more reason why we should be in situations like this and meetings like this, where we have policy makers, where we come together as a big group, that we can actually have a bigger voice together and speak to the powers that be to be able to make the change that we want to see.
Citizens are being urged to use the right channel to register their businesses.
Now, Executive Chairman of AB and David Law Firm, David Ofosu-Dorte, has challenged business owners to look beyond the current economic crisis and leverage growth opportunities. Businesses are taking a hit as the country navigates challenges triggered by both internal and external factors. However, Mr. Ofosu-Dorte is certain there are numerous areas business owners can explore and compete in, but he says it requires the right mindset. He spoke at this year's Stanford Seed Business Conference. The current economic challenges are taking a toll on businesses. The cost of doing business has become high as the cedi declines in value and inflation continues to soar. Some businesses have warned they may be forced to shut down if there are no drastic measures to turn the economy around. However, the current crisis has the potential of creating opportunities for businesses. At least Executive Chairman of AB & David Law Firm, David Ofosudote, thinks so.
I want us to understand that in this crisis, there are 5,000 areas, and it is not an imaginary figure. There are 5,000 minimum areas in Africa that you can compete or dominate. Whether you are able to spot opportunities in these 5,000 areas depends completely entirely on your crisis mindset.
Mr. Ofosudote delivered the keynote address at this year's Stanford Seed Business Conference. Chairman of CDH Group, Dr. Edusa Kodie, urged business leaders to stay with their vision for success.
Everything that goes up will come down. And so success itself will breed anti-success. So after this will be another one. And if we choose to call it a crisis, so it is. I call it pruning. And there are many growth opportunities within pruning.
Whilst businesses figure a way out of the crisis, economist and former chief executive of Stanbic Bank Ghana, Dr. Alhassan Andani, is challenging managers of the economy to fix the situation.
The economy is a model that a government gets out to run. So it is about that economic model that we have run so far, which is not working for us. So the people in power must go back and examine that model and create a new model that works.
President of the Ghana chapter of the Stanford Seed Transformation Network, Linda Ya Ampa, acknowledged the past 2 years have been challenging for businesses. She expressed the network's commitment to help businesses with relevant insights to survive the current challenges.
All right, so this conference is a flagship program of Stanford Seed Transformation Network Ghana. We do it every year. This year's theme was growth within the opportunities and growth within the crisis. Now, we chose this theme because of the current crisis that we find ourselves in. As businesses, some of us are sinking, some of us are just afloat, some of us are thinking of shutting down completely. So we thought we'd come together, get seasoned business leaders to bring us together to discuss how we can keep our businesses going.
The Stanford Seed Transformation Network has over 120 Ghanaian SMEs spread across 15 sectors of the economy, contributing to growth. You're watching The Marketplace. We are taking a short break. We will be right back with some more stories. And welcome back to The Marketplace. Chief Executive Officer of Maslock, Abibata Shani Mahama Zakaria, has made a passionate appeal to traders who benefit from the microfinance and small-scale loans to make it a priority to pay back monies given them as scheduled per the agreement. The ability to pay as scheduled, she says, will contribute to the overall goal of sustaining Maslock's revolving fund and will be the surest way to extend loans to others. She was speaking during a disbursement of loans to some 100 traders whose shops were destroyed by fire at the Takoradi market 6 months ago.
Traders at the Takoradi market whose shops got burned some 6 months ago have received support from the Microfinance and Small-Scale Loan Center to enable them to bounce back to business. The affected traders received loans between 2,000 and 1,000 Ghana cedis. The Chief Executive Officer of Maslock, Abibata Shani Mahama Zakaria, speaking to the media at the sidelines of the disbursement in Takoradi, expressed sympathy with the beneficiaries. She noted that the incident had significant impact on businesses and livelihood of the market women, hence the need for the disbursement.
Today, we have come here to more or less empathize with them. It is long overdue, but what is important is that we are here today. And initially, I was told about 550 women, but I looked at the number and realized that we had 15 women. Then 100 women may not be enough, but there's always a start. So I am believing that what we are coming to do this now, we've already gone through the education in terms of the loan terms and then how they are going to pay back.
She, however, advised the public from holding the perception that loans from Maslock are freebies. She encouraged the traders to be prompt in paying back the loans so others can also benefit.
I've encouraged them to do the repayments in good time. And once they are able to do the repayments, we are going to help them out because we can increase the threshold to 5,000 based on the institution. Yeah, there because like market women and other businesses that we support. So that is the essence of us.
On behalf of the traders, Takoradi Market Secretary Veronica Arthur expressed their gratitude to the President for the assistance and entreated her colleagues, traders, who benefited from the Maslog Fund to duly pay back so that others can also be supported.
I have to say a big thank you to the government because he has done what? I've said it's not the first time outbreak in Takoradi Market, but this is the first time after outbreak government has supported the market. This is the first time.
There are plans for you to pay. What do you have to say to your
All I have to say is you have to pay back. This loan is not for free. The interest rate is low as 1%. No other place will get loan at 1% interest. So all that I have to pay back so that our other sisters can also get that.
All right, time now for your money tips on Money Lab.
Hello there and welcome to Money Lab. In our previous episode, we looked at personal budget and the need for you to create a personal budget. Today, we shall look at investment and why it's important for you to develop a healthy investment habit. Investing involves committing money now in order to earn financial return in future. Investing allows you to grow your wealth whilst protecting your money against inflation. Some investment options include equity, mutual funds, bonds, and fixed income. Before investing, it's important to set an investment goal as well as know your investing personality. Thank you for joining us on Money Lab today. See you next time.
All right, before we go, we want to update you on the program that is taking place on Monday ahead of the 2023 budget presentation. It's a pre-budget forum dubbed Ghana's Alien Economy 2023 Budget to the Rescue. We are going to have on that discussion, which will be live on Joy 99.7 FM and also on the JoyNews channel, Professor Peter Quote, who is Director of ISA, Dr. Priscilla Chumesi-Boafo, Senior Lecturer, Economics Department, University of Ghana, Dr. Humphrey Imdake, President of AGI, Kuku Adam, CEO of Clay Group, Dr. Joseph Obeng, President of Guta. That discussion will be moderated by Winston Amwa and Benjamin Akakpo. That's on Monday, the 7th of November, 2022, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. live on Joy 99.7 FM and also on the JoyNews channel. Afternoon. Thanks for watching, everyone. Keep up to date on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. We will be back same time next week.